Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation. With gold, where does your allegiance lie? Let's explore! Are you making a statement by buying gold, whatever form it may be? What you see before you here is a 1 ounce American gold coin. And maybe the statement is what type of gold do you buy? In the end, gold is gold. It is reflected by its quite unique hue and its density and its weight to a point that there's so much value in the metal, it almost doesn't matter what's inscribed on it. As long as it's gold, you are going to capture the value of the metal. Because what is inscribed on the outside, or the mintage numbers, or the numismatic value, well, that does play a role in terms of making a statement, and maybe even to where your allegiance may lie. In other words, as a collector, but the intrinsic value of the metal contained therein speaks volumes. And for most cases, for most of us, unless we're buying the 1933 gold double eagle coin, well, the vast majority of the value is in the coin, is in the gold that the coin is made of. So, the statement we are making is that we pledge allegiance to an idea of sound money, of money that stands the test of time, withstands all sorts of crisis, economic hardship, all sorts of different things. Gold is a metal that will shine on. It's mentioned in the Bible. It's also mentioned in the Constitution. Both of those documents are very sacred to many of us. Therefore, the statement we are making is our allegiance lies with God and with self-preservation, self-reliance, individual liberty, and individual responsibility. I think those are profound attributes and to be able to have. And it's something that really transcends beyond any particular nation state. The idea of the exceptionalism of monetary stability and having that sense of worth that transcends politics and really harkens back to a time when we all agreed on a lot more than we didn't agree upon in a state of society where democracy at least played a role. But nonetheless, gold is a metal that certainly has adorned many different areas of culture and of life. You know, that which is something you can plate a gold statue. In fact, even in the Bible it talks about people would make statues of calves made of gold. And so it can be a bad thing. The allegiance could be to, well, the love of money. And that is the root of all evil. It's the love of money that's the root of all evil, but this itself is not evil. Gold and money itself is not evil. But loving it, especially more than your fellow man or more than God, certainly does make one evil. It can corrupt us. And but the thing is with gold itself, being money and treasured as such for thousands of years, it's an item, it's a thing, it's an inanimate object. In many ways, it has just its very existence provides that value that transcends politics, transcends monetary policy, that's for sure. What is the best monetary policy? Sound money, that's for sure. Sound money is the root of monetary policy, or is what it should be. But many of our politicians, many of our private bankers, especially the Federal Reserve and central banks around the world, they really could care less about sound money because they can't manipulate sound money. And that's the thing that really is troublesome to many, I believe, is that if they can't control it, well, it makes it a lot more difficult to control others with it. And that's what's happening with the central bank digital currencies that are being talked about, the Great Reset and the like. And it's something that should concern a lot of us, even if you don't hold precious metals, because where will your allegiance lie if you're under that system? We'll all essentially be under that system when the time comes. There's no question about that. But we don't have to be a slave to that system if we have sound money. And just because they can track us in every purchase from sunrise to sunset does not mean that we can't be loyal to sound money. They can't take it away from us once it's in our possession. Or at least not without the use of force. And even as such, we can find ways to defend ourselves if that were to be the case with other inanimate objects that send a message of where allegiance lies. Essentially, having sound money is an experiment in self-government. I think that's one reason why it's mentioned in Article 1, Section 10 of the Constitution. Sound money rules the day. It is something that I believe will be with us no matter how much they digitize, no matter what kind of system is out there. People are going to be craving something of value that is more anonymous, something that is more freeing. And I think, in a sense, gold, in a form such as this you see before you here, represents that freedom. So where does your allegiance lie? I would say with freedom, with God, and with self-determination, self-preservation, which means wealth preservation as well. That's what gold means to me. And this is one reason why I uniquely have been focusing more on it in the last several years, because there's so much value in such a small package. And it's very easy to store gold and to hide, by the way, as well, which is a very attractive attribute that I think could be quite appealing and could be quite valuable in the near future. See how it plays out, but nonetheless, gold is a metal that for literally thousands of years has proven itself time and time again through all sorts of disorder and order, all sorts of chaos, and all sorts of empires, nation states, cultures. It's just fascinating. Not to be worshipped, by the way, but to be admired in a sense, because of where our allegiance lies. Our allegiance lies in something that will continue to withstand the test of time. And that will, I think, in a sense, it all comes down to this word right here, united. With gold, we are united, and even around the world, like it or not, in our cultures, even from the East and the West, there are references to gold everywhere. From the gold plan, which means the top tier plan. You know, we know there's the silver plan too, and sapphire, platinum, palladium, what have you, or bronze plan. The Olympics, the gold medal, going for the gold. It's still in our lexicon, in our language. And I think that is what unites us. The gold standard, in a sense. What does that mean in the end when we hold this metal in our possession? I believe it means that we ourselves are empowered by our allegiance to self, to God, and to financial stability, fiscal responsibility. Because when we hold gold, we are our own central bank. And that pretty much says it all. I hope you found this video insightful. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.